Well, hey guys, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the GP20 tank car from Rapido Trains. This is an HO scale tank car in a few different variations, with one version up top there, the modern Procore, up to present day. So let's take a look at what you get starting now. Okay, a little bit about the real thing. Produced by 1984. All these were out on the road. There's about 1,000 of them out there in circulation from Procore and GP20, not to be confused with the locomotive. This is the tank car. So in the box, the car itself, and then you've got GP20 20,000 gallon tank car here with exploded parts diagram, and I guess I just answered your question of how many gallons can this hold. Oh, there it is again, 20,000 gallons. But there's the different versions they produced: Procore Alberta, Procore older style, and there's also NCTX, which is a North American. So those are what was released in this run. Pop open the blister packaging here. This is my favorite rendition of this car. It's got a little patch. It's got the FRA reflective striping there. That's not actually reflective, but it represents that. And we'll take a look at this and a couple other versions. Okay, so on this car, we'll start down at the end and show you some detail. Brake wheel, there's etched metal walkways, couplers there with a magnetic glad hand, and these are shelf couplers. As you can see, there's a little area that kind of allows for slack and play in the coupler. Those are what is required by the railroad administrations and all railroad governing bodies on couplers for tank cars, because you don't want to risk them coming apart. And then there's lots of detail, including air reservoir here. There's placarding. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little more, because we're really kind of robbing you on this detail just on this end here, and sometimes I don't realize that until I'm in the review. But placarding there so that a placard can be placed. Nice truck detail, and there's two different versions of trucks depending on if it's an early or late version of this car. You've got the FRA reflective striping and all the specs of the car printed there. Anti-personnel bar, so people will stay out from under there. You can see the brake chain under here as well, peeking out right there. I'll show you an under view in a minute. You can also see up above the vent stack here, as well as the loading hatch in the center. So I'll try to show you that, as well as grab irons around the center and ladders going up and down the side. Procore, as you can see, is patched out on this car. There's also placarding on this end. This is a good view of those etched metal walkways. So placarding there as well. Now we're all sorts of zoomed in, so things are a bit unsteady, but you can take a look at that brake line rigging as well. So do a quick back and forth below. And the trucks. So pretty good detail there on those cars. Alright, we went a little crazy on the zoom in, so I'm back out to reality so you're not kind of chasing the camera all over the place trying to see what's going on. Here's the early version of the Procore, and then the North American is in the back there, and just kind of showing you some differences. There are vent differences. There's differences in the trucks. On the early version, there's 70-ton trucks with 33-inch wheels, and then on the late car there's 100-ton trucks with 36-inch wheels. And there's an exposed drain valve versus a reinforced drain valve based on the car as well. So as you can see there, that drain valve is just open for business, if you will. And then on this one, it's reinforced. So those are just some of the variations that Rapido goes into for these cars. They definitely are era, road name, and road number specific cars. So let's just kind of recap of some of the detail difference. We did do an MRA gauge off screen, and that's good on the wheels. I will show you the couplers on screen next. Just going to do a free rolling test real quick, and it does roll very, very freely, so there's no drag on your consist if you add these cars whatsoever. Okay, we're going to check coupler height here. Hard to tell. Looks a little low on that side. It looks dead on, so a little bit of a mix on couplers we've seen on almost everything we review. Some are low or high. Scale's a little hard to see, but I'll read it for you. If we can keep it in place, 3.9 ounces on this. It's 110 grams, so decent weight, light enough to keep things rolling, heavy enough to probably prevent derailment too much. Same on these other ones as well. Well, that's going to wrap up our look at the Rapido GP20 tank cars, not locomotives, tank cars. Several variations, several different time periods and details for both road names and the time period specific details. So overall, really nothing to bash on this one. You know, we had one coupler that was low again. Just happens almost on every review. We've got to come up with something, right? So that's it. Those can be adjusted. Sometimes it's as simple as adjusting a screw. Sometimes you have to shim them. Sometimes it's not a big deal, depending on what you're running and such. But I let you be the judge on that. I just provide all the information so that you can make an accurate decision in your buying. And just so you're aware, for pricing, which we didn't cover but we'll cover now, you can get a 6-pack of these for $359.70 Canadian or $299.70 US, and individually they will run you $59.95 Canadian or $49.95 US. Those are MSRP prices, which means your online retailers and local brick and mortar hobby shops are going to have discounts available for you in some cases, and that's not always the gospel truth price. So with that said, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.